check your pulse. If this doesn't get you, actually, you know what? Whatever. I'll say it. If this doesn't get you excited, check your pulse. But I don't want, if you, this doesn't, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just simply showing you information that I personally believe is kind of nuts. So it's all on you. Make your decisions. If you want to give us a shout after this, that's cool. If you want to let Zillow take your cheese, that's cool. But this is just information to share with you. We just happen to have, as we record this at least, a program where you could potentially get a free month of ads. This kind of ad is one of the examples. But that's up to you. I want this to be your decision. I'm very, very, very adamant that that is how it needs to be. I can refer ideas and suggest and present data and whatever, but it's up to you. Make that phone call if you want. Click down below. You can set up a call. You'll get a link right to my calendar. You'll talk directly to me and we'll get it figured out. Otherwise, check this out. I hope you enjoyed. If nothing else, I just hope that you enjoyed and you learned something from it. So here we go. My soapbox is done. I'm going to move my face. My face is now moved. All right. So these are national numbers of ours. Okay. So of all the accounts that we have, which is hundreds, we want to discuss what's going on. Okay. So out of all of our accounts, the average time that someone is a customer is 18.29 months. Now I want to ask you something. If this wasn't working for you, would you continue to do it for a year and a half? Just throw that out there. Okay. If you weren't showing up here and you thought you were gonna, and or if you were and it wasn't profitable for you, would you do it for 18 months on average out of all the accounts? There's some that are in, we had one that was, it's 47 months, okay? Just want to throw that out there, okay? Now keep in mind that this is including, my head moved. What's up with that? This is including all live accounts. So some are only 1 month just because they're 1 month, they're brand new. It's the average of all of them, okay? Interesting stuff. It's a lot of months. Here's the average cost per call, meaning the cost per call, number of calls divided into the total budget per month, and then the cost per click. Now, one thing that's very interesting, because we're going to talk about both, which is that a call is technically a click. So let's say you had 1,000 clicks and 20 calls. In order to do this 100% accurately, we'd have to say that you had 980 clicks that were separate from those calls. We did not do that, but because the call numbers are so small, the numbers don't really change. Okay, I just want you to, I'm not trying to be sneaky, I'm just showing you the actual total call numbers and then the total click numbers. But I'm going to come up front, I'm going to tell you that we didn't pull the call numbers out, and you're going to, well, maybe you're not going to see why, but at the end of the day, the numbers are really small, and you're going to see that here in a second, I think. But the return on investment on the calls is really powerful because of where they come from. Now, keep in mind, this is the kind of a click or a call that you're going to get. Let's pretend, put yourself in this situation. In the last video, if you didn't see that, go watch it. Otherwise, the context isn't going to make sense. What we're doing here is we're saying that you want to be in what's called Capitol Hill. We call it Cap Hill. And you want to be found for people who are looking for a real estate agent in that area. One other recap is that in Denver, of a 20-mile radius of somewhere in central Denver, I don't remember exactly the zip, right around Cap Hill, in a 20-mile radius, 387,000 times in a month, someone typed in the word realtor and hit enter. So what I've done is I've zeroed in a little bit, right? Instead of being, not that that's being vague, because it's not, typing in the exact word realtor is an intentional search. Would you agree with that? But how much more intentional is this? Cap Hill, Denver realtor. Now, that's a big deal, okay? So when these clicks come to you, do you think that that person has the likelihood of wanting to find you? Think about that for a second. Just really, really, really think about that. And then think about these conversion ratios I'm about to share with you. Also, keep in mind, of when you go to the sales funnels training that we have and discuss what that really means, throw that in the mix, and then we'll think about this, okay? So this is nutty stuff. All right, so what we did, this right here, as you can see, real estate clicks on a $2,000 a month budget, okay? So what we've done is we took our average cost per click, and again, this is across 100 accounts. Right now, they're currently live. And we put that in $500 increments. I'm gonna use $2,000 budget. Let's check it out. Off of 2,000 bucks divided by $2.40, that would be 833 clicks. So right now, underneath this blue, here's what I did. I said that this column is one transaction for every 400 clicks. That's a 0.25% conversion ratio. One transaction from 400 clicks, okay? This column is one transaction for every 200 clicks, and so on and so forth. This is one transaction for every 100, all right? So what does that mean? That means that if you had got 833 clicks this month off of that budget, which again is our national average, that you'd get 2.1 transactions from those 833 if this was your conversion ratio. Okay, keep in mind, we have the sales funnel. Well, first off, let's back up. Keep in mind they searched for something that you specifically wanted to be searched for. This would be an example. You sent them directly to a page that is intentionally specific about whatever your search term was. So obviously, if this is a search term that you picked that you wanted to be clicked on, you wouldn't send them to something about real estate in Tokyo, right? You sent them to somewhere there. Number two on that is that you intentionally said that you want to be involved in their life from a professional aspect. You raise your hand. They've gotten there. They've raised their hand. Now, when they get there, you've raised your hand and said, I would love to work with you. Okay? That's the next thing. So now, yeah, the conversion ratios are dramatically different than if we just send them to come to my page and you can search for properties. That's not going to have a high conversion ratio compared to what these are. Would you agree with that? Okay, thank you very much. So 2.1 transactions off of those, and that is 1 per 400. This is 4.2 in a month, 1 per 200. 4.2 transactions a month of a $2,000 budget. We won't even get into these because you're probably not even going to believe me and whatever, and that's up to you, and you can find out on your own. We're going to use these two boxes, which is 1 transaction per 400 and 1 transaction for 200 clicks. That's what we're going to do right now. So we come down here. So again, this is 2 and 4. 2 transactions in a month, 4 transactions in a month. What we're going to do is we're going to say, based off of a $500,000 price point, which Cap Hill happens to easily be, right? The entire Denver metro, I think, is up to close to 4, and maybe your area is more in the $200,000 range. As you can see, I went 200, 300, 400, and this is the average transaction value. And then what I did is I said, off of a 2.8% commission split and an 80-20 with your broker on average, okay, this is what it would be if you averaged across a whole year or a month, whatever you want to look at. This is what your GCI would be, okay? So off of 500 GZs transaction, an 80-20 at a 2.8, your GCI would be 11.2. Okay, so right? You follow me. I hope you follow me. So if we came back up here and we said, we're going to use this box, we're going to say we get 1 transaction for every 400 clicks. That means you'd get 2 in a month. That means that you'd come down right here and at 500 grand, you got 2 in a month. That means you had $22,000, 22.4 off 1 month because it's 2 transactions, right? Okay, so let's do that math. So here's the ROI. That means that when you put in $1, you got $11.20 back. You put in $2,000, you got $22,400 back. That's the math, okay? Just throwing it out there. Process that. So I don't know if you've seen the video yet. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a video talking about, I started off calling it an ATM, then I switched it to a vending machine. But the idea here is that if you could walk up to a vending machine or an ATM and you put in $1, the vending machine's probably better. You put in $1 in a vending machine, and instead of getting a candy bar, you got $11.20 back. Would you go to that vending machine as many times a day as you could, or as many months of the year as you could? You would, right? I don't know. It's up to you, but I would. So, nonetheless, that's what's going on right here. That's what this is all about. Now, if we did one transaction per 200 clicks, a 0.5% conversion ratio. Now, granted, I've heard of people getting 3%, but again, I'm not even going to go there. That'd be 4 transactions in a month. If we come over here and we say we're in the $500,000 price point because that's what Cap Hill's above that, but whatever. We're getting 44 Jeezys in income, which is a 2,240% ROI, which means that you get $22 back for every $1 you put in. 22 to 1. All right. Is that I don't know. These are just real numbers. This is real stuff. This is actual. I don't know what to say. Now, we have accounts that don't do as well as others. This is off of hundreds of accounts. Some bomb. Well, actually, some don't bomb. But because we just won't line up a campaign in an area that, for multiple reasons, might not do well. We'll just suggest something else, or just suggest that we don't do it, right? So that's why we want you to call us and we'll talk about it, because we don't want to. It's not always a good fit, right? It might be a good fit to work with us in general, but it may not be a good fit to necessarily do this exact approach, okay? So let's check the call side. So remember, I'm going to click, but remember that a call is a click. So remember the 1,020 and the whatever, we're stacking here. So if we got a 10% ROI on one side and a 10% on the other, you can almost stack them and call it a 20%, because the number of calls is such a small amount that it doesn't have a large impact on the clicks. And I hope that resonates with you, but I'm sorry if it doesn't. But basically, at the end of the day, if we took 6 calls away from these 833, it wouldn't have a dramatic number on these numbers down here, which are the ones that really matter. Okay, so let's go through the calls. Our average cost per call is $116.75. Now, aside from all of it, this number, in my humble opinion, is higher than what it should be. And the reason is because we don't have a lot of people that buy into the idea that they should have this phone number out there. Now, I personally think it's a mistake, because the numbers are the numbers and the numbers are good. But that's up to you. If you guys don't want that in there, that's up to you. Because otherwise I can't track it. And I want to be able to track it, because that's the beauty of digital, is that it's transparent. And so, yeah, in the pros cons world, I'd rather have it be my actual phone number or what have you. And I'll just be quiet, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we can only track the people that have tracking numbers. So here we go. Check this out. So if 116, so 2,000 divided by 116.75 is 17 calls in a month. Now remember, when we talk about these conversion ratios, because these are different, okay, these are call conversion ratios, not click. So keep in mind, they're calling you because this is your ad, okay? You get that. So your phone number would be right here. And then there'd potentially be a box right here that says call. Instead of saying search homes, it would say call, okay? See if we can find one. No, none of them say it. I'm sorry that that's not the case, but they're calling you right from here, okay? So do you think that there's a good chance that that person wants to talk to you if they're putting in Cap Hill Realtor on their phone? Because most people are on their phone. It's not on a desktop. This is a desktop view, obviously, right? You think there's a decent chance, a high likelihood, that they want your services, okay? So I've used a 10% conversion ratio, and I go up to 60. But we're just gonna use these two, because it's good enough. The numbers are good, so we don't even need to pretend like this solution is going to be what you're going to get. We don't need to go there to show you that this is worth a conversation for you to explore, okay? So again, this is one transaction. 1.7 equals 1 at the end of the month, right? This is 3.4, which at the end of the day is 3. So we're going to be down here looking at 1 and 3. So again, we come down here. We did multiple price points on this one. So let's say you're in a 200, 300, 400, 500, whatever. We'll do 300. That's all purple. So you did 1 in a month. You spent $2,000, and you got this many calls. You got 17 calls. You converted 1.7 of them. This means you did one transaction because it's 2.8 and 80/20. All right. So right now what we're looking at is a 336% ROI. You got $3.36 back for every dollar that you put in. That's that math. Okay. Now, if you jump over here and you got to the point where you're converting 2 out of every 10 phone calls that you got, this is what your math looks like. You got $10 back for every $1 you put in because you did 2 transactions at 300 grand. Now in Cap Hill, you're in the $500,000 or the $700,000 price point, right? Would you agree? And according to my search right now, there's only one local dude. Sorry, ladies, I say the word dude too often, but there's only one human. These are lead aggregators. Google wants local people, not lead aggregators. Okay. Look at this. There's opportunity here. Okay. So if you want to choose this right now, and you got just one transaction a month from it, you're getting $5.60 back for every $1 you put in. If you're in the 700 grand average, you're getting $7.84 back for every $1 you put in. If you jump over here and you convert 20%, 23 back for every one, 16 back for every one. And remember that we have put these separate. Okay, so let's say that you converted 10%. You're in the 300 grand price point. Or no, we got to do 500 because I didn't do the math on the other one. But I'll show you. If you did 0.25 here, so you got, 2 transactions in a month, right? Because you had converted 2 people out of your 833 clicks, which means you got $11 back for every one you put in. Now that same exact dollar is the same dollar that got you over here. Now let's say you only converted 1 over here. You have $5.60. So that same buck got you $5 here and got you $11 here. So you actually had $16.80 back off that same dollar because each call is actually a click because the same ad drives each one of them. Again, if someone clicks right here versus if they click where it would be your phone number listed right there, and or one of these should say call, those are the same clicks. I hope this makes sense. And if it doesn't, I'm really, really sorry. I'm trying to do my best to make sense of it. And, my wife sometimes tells me that I'm not great at explaining things. But here's the bottom line, you guys. All you have to do is call and ask. Just give us a shout. There's a link down below. You can link directly to my calendar and give us a shout. Like, you're going to talk right to me. You can ask any questions you want about this stuff. As we make this video right now, we actually, to try to help people as much as we can get off their keister, I'll buy a month of your ads, literally a whole month of your ads. This is going to expire at some point because we can't do it forever. This is going to expire at some point because we can't do it forever. But here's the deal, you guys, is that you can get up, we'll buy an entire month. We'll put our money where our mouth is to show you how this could help your business. So reach out. There's a link below on that. There's also links for other videos. We're super pumped that you're involved in this at all, let alone if you engage further. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I highly encourage you to reach out. But have an awesome day. Get out there and do your best and have it with conviction. And thank you. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.